Hey guys, today I'm going to review The Batman. Yeah, the newest Batman movie. Like, I told you I was going to review Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and I will soon, but since I went to the cinema and saw The Batman again, I decided I'm going to review it. It's very late review because the movie has been out for quite a while, but I decided why not. And so what I think of the movie? Before I talk, first I will say I'm a huge Batman fan. I love Batman the animated series. The Dark Knight trilogy is one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time. I do enjoy the Michael Keaton Batman movies. Yeah, I love the Batman. He's always been my favorite superhero, my favorite DC character, and one of my favorite comic book characters ever, actually. So yeah, I'm a huge Batman fan. And the Joker is one of my favorite villains. Okay, so what do I think of this new Batman movie? First, I'll say I was really excited for it. The trailers made it look awesome. Like, I was really excited for this movie. But the movie was a mixed bag. There were many things I loved about the movie, but the movie had lots of problems as well. First, what did I love about the movie? Well, the tone and the atmosphere were awesome. They were incredible. Like, the dark atmosphere was very much matching the tone of the Batman, and it strongly reminded me of Batman the Animated Series. Which I just said, I love Batman the Animated Series. It's actually one of my favorite cartoons that ever existed. So yeah, the tone and the atmosphere, they were awesome. And I was surprised, but Robert Pattinson surprised me as Batman. I really liked his take on Batman. Not so much on Bruce Wayne, more on that later, but I liked his take on Batman. I thought he did an amazing job. And Colin Farrell as the Penguin, don't get me started. He was a really great Penguin. Like, I was really impressed by his performance. He felt like Penguin. He is the Penguin, basically. Like, yeah. Every scene in which the Penguin was in was awesome. Because Colin Farrell did an amazing job as the Penguin. So, yeah. And the fight scenes, how few they were really great. Especially the beginning and the end. Yeah, the fighting scenes were great. And the story wasn't even bad. The concept for the story was actually pretty good. So, here are the positives. Now, on to the negatives. First, the movie was really slow. Like, so slow. Like, it didn't need to be 3 hours long. Or at least if you make it 3 hours long, make it interesting. Like, give us more fight scenes. Like, I know Batman was a detective, and I really enjoyed the fact that they were going to show us more of his detective side. But this movie has almost barely any fighting scenes throughout it, and that really disappointed me. Like, when I go to see the Batman movie, I do want to see some fighting at least. And this Batman barely had any fights. The ones it had, the few fights it had were great, which makes me even more sad because that showed that there was a huge potential there. Like, having a story that mostly revolves around being a detective works very well for the comics, but for the movie it doesn't work that well. Like, we do need some action in a Batman movie. At least I feel this way. Another negative, I must say, I already mentioned, Pattinson is a great Batman, but he's not a very good Bruce Wayne. Like, there was almost no Batman as Bruce Wayne in the movie. In the scenes in which he was unmasked and talked with Alfred, he still felt like Batman. Like, he almost showed no emotion, and he didn't speak much. Like, in all his Bruce Wayne scenes, he still felt like Batman. Like, one of my favorite things about the Batman is I love the dynamic. Batman Bruce Wayne. I love the contrast of those two lives. But in this movie, he he was very much Batman and no Bruce Wayne at all. Which made me not happy because, as I said, I love when there is a little bit of both Bruce Wayne and Batman. And finally, my biggest complaint about the movie is the Riddler. Like, the Riddler is one of my favorite Batman villains. And here, he fell out more like the Zodiac Killer or Victor Zsasz. He didn't really feel like the Riddler. Like, the Riddler is not a serial killer. He's this cool supervillain that does riddles. And by making him the serial killer, they completely changed, like, the character. Like, I had no problem striking serial killer, but they could pick any other character. They didn't have to pick the Riddler for that. Like, I love the Riddler, and I would wanna see him portrayed faithfully. So, the movie itself, it was not a bad movie. In fact, it had a potential, and there were lots of great things in the movie. But ultimately, the negatives unfortunately prevent the movie from being great. Which is why I say The Batman 2022 is a solid movie. It's a solid movie, but it's not great. Okay, thank you guys for watching. And if you're new here, please subscribe to this channel, press the like button, and soon I'll talk to you soon in another video where I'm going to review Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Talk to you soon, bye!